दोस्तों नमस्कार। आशा है कि आप अच्छे होंगे। ये तो इंग्लिश का वीडियो था, अब इसको इंग्लिश में शुरू करेंगे। माय डियर फ्रेंड, यू आर मोस्ट वेलकम। आई एम विजय कुमार पाल और अलाइस विजय कुमार। दिस इज माय बुक द venomous fangs of cobra. So I will tell you some Quranic verses which is totally against the humanity and against the non-Muslims according to the Quran. And I will tell you the persecutions of many peoples. Particularly, I will tell you about the persecution of the Judaism or the Jews. Judaism is an ethnic religion cult for Jewish people, the children of Israel, known as the Jews of the God. So this land is very for these Jewish people, because Judaism came first in existence, then to Christianity and Islam. Torah is the part of the text known as Tanakh or the Hebrew Bible, and in later texts, educational books, it is represented by almost 1.7 crores or almost 2 crores people in all the world. This is an Abrahamical religion, monotheistic religion, though all Abrahamical religion cannot be defined as monolithic. Became in this religion, prophets and angels are the mediator to Allah, God, Yahweh. Only one religion of the world monolithic, that is the Vedic religion, because Hindu can worship directly to God or Allah or the Creator without any mediator according to Vedas, which are the only authentic books of the Vedic religion. Judaism is the world's oldest, at least 4,000 years old religion. Judaism believed that Jews had established a special agreement with Jehovah, the God of the Judaism or the Yahweh, though through profit and reward good deeds and also punishing evil. Most of the Jews believe that their Messiah has come yet, and Jews worship in synagogues and other spiritual leaders are rabbis. Star of David is the symbol of the Judaism. Torah is the second book known as Hebrew Bible or the Tanakh, as in Christianity Old Testament, but they are placed in a slightly different order. Torah is among first 5 books of the Tanakh. According to Torah, God or Yahweh first revealed himself to a Hebrew named Abraham, who is known as the founder of the Judaism. Abraham, son of Isaac, and the grandson Jacob also became central figures. Jacob disclosed the name of Israel and his children as Israelites. After Abraham, more than 100 years, prophet Moses led Israelites out of Egypt after being enslaved for 100 years. Around 1000 before Christ or Kafal Masih, King David ruled the Jewish people, and his Solomon built the first of the 100 years around Holy Temple in Jerusalem. Kingdom fell after 69 years, and Jewish people split in 2 groups, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. Around 200 AD, scholars compiled the Mishnah, a text that describes and explains the Jewish code of the conduct of the law. Talmud, later the Talmud, a collection of the teaching, the Mishnah and other texts known as Gemara, which examines the Mishnah, Hintre Pactus, thousands of the rabbis, and 613 commandments of the Jewish law. The Talmudists completed from 3 AD. Third Anno Domini and up to 5th century Anno Domini. Judaism embraces several written texts and comparatives. One example is the 13 Articles of the Faith, which was written by Jewish publisher named Maimonides. Sabbath is the day of the rest, and the prayer begins on the Friday after sunset and lasts until fall on the Saturday. Judaism and the persecution is the main subject. Jewish people are the most persecuted by the Christians and the Muslims in this world. And because only Jesus was crucified by Jews, so Christian killed Jews as in India to Sikh gunned down Indira Gandhi XPM, and many innocent Sikh were killed by the congressmen. Some genocide of the Jews agenda. 166 Grenada massacre. On December 30, 166, a Muslim mob stormed the royal place in Grenada and killed more than 1,000 Jews. Muslims also kidnapped the Joseph ibn Nagrela, the Jewish vizier to the Berber king. First Crusade. In the First Crusade, a series of the medieval holy wars, including series of the genocides of the Jews by Muslim and the Christian both, and also forced to convert into Islam and Christianity by force in 1942. The Spanish expulsion of Jews due to the Spain ruler issued a royal edict or the tyranny declared or Jews who refused to convert into Christianity would be expelled from the country, and the estimated 2 lakhs people were ousted and almost 10,000 died while trying to reach safely. The Holocaust, the most infamous modern day atrocity, the Nazis murdered more than 6 million of the 60 lakhs Jews were murdered by the Nazi Hitler. Reason of the killing of the Jews only same verses in Quran and the Bible. History of the Jews under Muslim rule. The persecution of the Jews as the media charter, Medina Charter. The charter was organized 620 AD by so-called Prophet Muhammad Sahib, but translation by some unknown. Those tribes of the Jews fight with Muslims. They were treated as below. Medina Charter. What is the Medina Charter? They are commonly Muslims to exclusion of other people which are the Kafirs. The Mujahideen of the Quraysh tribe, they pay jointly blood white and the ransom from their captive. This is carried on in an upright and just manner among the believers. Banu Awaf remains in their condition. They jointly share their previous blood white. Every group ransom their captives. This is carried out in an upright and just manners among the believers. Banu al-Harith in the condition it is section 3. Banu Sada as above in the section 3. Banu Jusan as above in the section 3. Banu Nazir, Banu Amr bin, Banu Aban Nabad. These are the Jewish tribe at the time of the Muhammad. Banu al-Abbas, the believer shall not fail enter into alliance with client of the believer without the latter's consent. No believer shall enter into alliance with the client of a believer without the latter's consent. The God-fearing act those of them who cause an act of the injustice or fraud or hostility or harm among the believers. Their hands are all against him, even if he is the son of one of them. No believer, means Jews, shall kill a believer on account of unbeliever. Neither shall he help an unbeliever against believers. His protection of the Allah is one, and the protection granted by least of them is a binding to all. The believers protect each other to the exclusion of other people. The peace of these believers means Muslims, where there is a fighting the way of Allah. However, peace must be concluded on the basis of mutual quality and the justice. Whenever the Jews follow us as peace, help and support without being wronged and without the one helping other against. In every expedition made with us, the parties shall take turns with one over. The believers, that is the Muslims, exact when guineas for the blood of another that is said in the way of Allah. Allah-fearing believers are under the best and most correct guidelines. No polytheist may grant protection the property or person of the Quraysh, neither shall we protect himself against the believers. When evidence has been given that someone killed a believer, then he is killed and the retaliation for him unless the person entitled to revenge is satisfied with blood white. And believers is significantly used in this book or my book, that is the Venomous Fangs of the Cobra by Vijay Kumar Pal, Rudra publication for the Muslims. No believer who understood what is said in his documents and who believe in Allah and the last day shall give assistance to a wrongdoer or to give him shelter if anyone helps him or shelter such a person. upon him is the curse and the wrath of Allah on the day of resurrection. No price or substantial shall be accepted from him. Whenever you differ about anything to refer to Allah and Muhammad, the Jews pay sale of the expenses of the believers, that the Muslims, to long as they at war. Same section in 38. The Jews of Banu Awab are torn community with the believers, to the Jews their religion, and to the Muslims their religion. This applies to their clients and to themselves, with the exception of anyone who has done wrong or committed treachery, for he harms only himself and his family. To the Jews of Banu al-Nazar applies the like what does to the Jews of Banu Awab, Banu al-Harith, Banu Saada, Banu Jusan, Banu al-Abbas. To the Jews of the Banu al-Taha, Laba, as section 26, with the exception of anyone who has done wrong is committing treachery, he harms only himself and his family. Jafna are a subdivision of these Laba, they are like them. The Banu al-Sitab applies the like of what does to the Jews of the Banu Awaf. Honesty without treachery is demanding. The clients of the Laba, one like them, the friends of the Jews are like them. No one of them shall go out to war without Muhammad's consent, but no one shall be provoked from taking vengeance for the wounds. Whenever acts on his own account involves himself and his family, accepts him who has been wronged. Allah is the trust follower of this document. The Jews must bear their expenses and the Muslim must bear their expenses. They help one another against those who make war against the people of these documents. Between them is a good understanding, honesty, dealing and true, not treachery. No one is responsible for his confederate. Help is to be given to the whoever is wrong. The Jews pay a share of the expenses of the believers so long as they are at war. A repeat of 24. The valley of Yathrib, that is the Medina, is sacred for the people of the document. The guest is his host, except he who cause or acts. No woman can be treated as a guest except with the consent of her family. Whenever there is a disagreement among the people of this document and trouble to be anticipated, the matter is to the referred Allah and Muhammad. Allah is the most scrupulous and the strictest fulfill of this document. No protection is to given to the Quraysh or those who help him, though the Quraysh is the tribe of Muhammad. They help one another against those who attack Yathrib. Whenever they are summoned to conclude and to accept a peace treaty, then they shall conclude and accept it. And whenever they, the believers, summoned to be like that, they have to the right for this wish. The believers accept whoever makes war on account of the religion. Everyone has his share from their side which is directed towards him. The Jews of Alabas, their client and themselves have the same rights as the people of the document in the pure honesty on the part of the people of this document. Honesty without treachery demanding. Every person who becomes guilty loads the quiet cult only upon himself. Allah is the most just and trustful pills. Of the contents of the document, this does not protect him who practices evil or the treachery or the non-Muslim. He who goes out as well as he who remains is safe in the city, except this that clears wrong or acts treacherously. Allah is the protector of who is ever the God and faithful, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. The conclusion of the Medina Charter of the Muhammad Sahib and the between Jews and Muslims. This charter is against Jews and this charter is inclined towards Muslims or the Muslims. In this charter, it is not clear women are war booty as in Quran verses. One amazing thing is that in Medina Charter there is no description of Hindus and Buddhists. Even in Quran there is no description of the Hindus and Buddhists. Does Allah is not aware? Then how Quran verses especially against Jews, and why Allah did not know this? Why? Because Quran written by a person. If any Gabriel engine came to Muhammad Sahib in Hira cave, then why Muhammad Sahib did not knew? And this was disclosed by Aisha that he was Gabriel engine. This story was fabricated by Muhammad Sahib and the Aisha. So the Medina Charter is totally against Jews. If there would be Hindus and others, So then these verses of this charter would be against these non-Muslims. So seeing this charter, it seems it was against Jews, and the being a prophet, he should not be biased with non-Muslims. Prophet and Lord work is to maintain harmony and mutual understanding, not to see by binary vision. So did Allah in Quran, as per verses of the Quran, Allah to Gabriel, Prophet Muhammad Sahib, and then follower of the Islam. Now let us back to the Jewish persecution by Muhammad bin Abdullah. By the time Muslim conquest, Jews started executing by the new converted Muslims, because they where Islam was originated, that place for the dwelling of the Jewish tribe in 7th century beginning. Jews under the Islamic rule has given the status of dhimmi, means protected by Islamic rulers after giving tax jizya to Muslims along with save the pre-Islamic groups. Dhimmi directly means a second-class citizen of Islamic country having no fundamental rights. There was significant number of Jews in Arab at the time of the Prophet Muhammad Sahib, such as oases of the Khyber as well as the trading colonies in Medina and Mecca. Jews were refugees from Byzantine. Byzantine Empire was the Eastern Roman Empire when the capital city was Constantine. After the fall of Western Roman Empire, Arab historians also mentioned 20 tribes of Jews in Arab. Same point regarding the evil and the religious situation for the Jewish community living with the Christian and Islamic perspective. For example, the constitution stated that the Jews responsible for their expenditure and Muslim theirs, and they shall responsible for their the battle of Badr, the Jewish tribe of Banu Kankaya. So I will tell you all the war in the next video, because this video is too much long. Thank you very much.